They took our jobs. They took our jobs. Said they took our jobs. I said they took our jobs. They took our jobs. I bet nobody ever thought an episode of South Park was going to win an election, huh? We could just call the Republican Party the Walmart Party because the Walton family are some of the most famous Republicans ever. I remember they used to have the Christian versions of all the CDs with the censorship. Those rich Republican billionaires are the ones who push the jobs to places like China. I've had plenty of Chinese friends and I asked them about this and they actually say something like, we don't know why America would send the jobs here, but the job's there, so of course we're going to take it. We first started using that Chinese labor around 40 years ago when China was having a real tough time where you and I would just see someone starving. They see an opportunity to exploit people. That's because many of them are literally the grandchildren of actual plantation owners. Or like when we looked at Trump himself, we think he might possibly be the grandson of a Nazi prison guard. They sold out the people in their own country, and just like that Chinese person who doesn't have a choice, the job's just there for taking. We don't have a choice but to buy these Chinese shirts, you know, because they took our job. These people are so terrible, enslaving a nation around the other side of the globe and selling out your own people isn't enough for them. This also calls the people in our own country to be brainwashed zombies. And let's program to think that we didn't push the jobs to China, but China took our jobs. And now that China's not being good little slaves and having thoughts of their own, let's tell them that China made coronavirus. And by the way, just for fun, let's see how many of these dumbasses will go to church without a mask on if we tell them to. And speaking of church, call up the church bribery network and make sure all the preachers are telling those sheep that there's no religion allowed inside of China. And have we got Hoskinson on the phone? How are we doing on the newest front of colonialism? Yeah, funny how Tiananmen Square and you for prison camps never bothered those rich people until Chinese outlived their usefulness. How can you imagine the Trump turds shopping in Walmart mentally disturbed because they're wondering, did Hunter Biden do business in China? What? We all do business in China. After knowing the whole story, I feel gross with it. You know, I was forced to use this slave labor by these rich fucks. And in the end, just abandoned China. Shameful.